every day, in every way. You take care of yourself so you can feel strong and look your best. What if you could achieve more with your healthy habits? Reach your wellness goals faster with Physique Fat Burn. A unique blend of citrus and guarana extracts, plus B vitamins and green coffee bean extract, activates your body to turn white stored fat into a form the body can easily burn for energy through a process called fat beiging. A 16-week study on this key ingredient showed 3 astonishing results. Increased resting energy expenditure by 181 calories per day. Total fat decreased by 5.2%, or approximately 4 pounds, with no change in diet or exercise. And 65% of the fat loss was in the waist and hips, an area many struggle to slim down. So make your healthy habits do more and turn your body into a lean, mean wellness machine with Physique Fat Burn. And eat, sleep, exercise, repeat to keep living in a body that you love.
Let's talk a little bit about fat and the different types. So as you're born, you start out with brown fat. So what is brown fat? It has small lipid droplets and high mitochondria activity. So with this higher mitochondrial activity, its main function is to turn food into body heat. So it's sometimes called good fat. Now in newborns, around 5% of body weight is made up of brown fat, which actually prevents them from shivering in the cold. And there is a shift away from this brown fat to white fat as humans age. And then white fat, what is that? It contains a large lipid droplet and has low mitochondria activity. And when we consume too many calories, the energy is stored in the form of white fat. Then there's a third type of fat that we're going to talk about. Have you ever heard of beige fat? Well, let me tell you, in this case, beige is the opposite of boring. Beige fat is the conversion of white fat into brown and white fat. Now, while not as densely packed with mitochondria as brown fat, it can be almost as effective at being converted into energy for our body to use. And that's where fat burn and the new data on its key active, sinitrol, comes in. Let's start with how energy is produced in the body. Everyone has heard about ATP, right? Okay. I know I've talked to a lot of science nerds during these last couple days, so I know you guys know what ATP does. It's the energy currency of the cell that essentially keeps us alive. As ATP is burned in the mitochondria, it goes through a loop that ultimately leads to the accumulation of a type of protein known as cyclic AMP or CAMP, and it stimulates fat or fatty acid burning. Now, this reaction is dependent on the phosphodiesterase 3 or PDE3 enzyme. Now, sinitrol is a blend of multiple citrus and guarana extracts that works by decreasing PDE3 expression, and this ultimately allows CAMP to accumulate and continuously drive the burning of fatty acids as heat energy. So it's acting more like brown adipose tissue. It also increases the resting energy expenditure because of the constant fatty acid breakdown. So this eventually leads to a higher ratio of beige fat and more mitochondrial activity. But once again, what does all of this mean to you? Let's look at the new clinical data. A 16-week, double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled study on sinitrol was performed on 77 participants. Participants followed a healthy diet with no change to exercise habits. The study looked at waist size, hip size, body weight loss, body fat, and lean mass variations, and then also resting calorie expenditure. Basically looking at weight loss and body composition. And that's where things get exciting. The results are going to be pretty impressive, I'm telling you. First, they saw an increase in resting calorie expenditure by 181 calories per day. That means that the base amount of calories that the participants burned daily increased by an average of 181 calories per day without any other change to their lifestyle. Wouldn't you like to burn an extra 181 calories per day sitting on the couch? I know, I want to. While I'm sitting at my desk, just burning an extra 181 calories, I'll take it. They also saw a reduction in the total fat by 5.2%, or 4 pounds, and 65% of the fat lost was in the trunk area. And this effect continued even 4 weeks after discontinuation of use. An additional 2 pounds were lost after 4 weeks. This is incredibly exciting and impressive results all around.